What's up, guys? Blade Master here. Going to be starting a new LP in the Age of Charlemagne DLC. I'm going to be starting with the Avars, and I think I'll go either hard or very hard. So, the way this LP is going to break down is initially I'm going to talk about their units and their unit roster, maybe why I decided to choose them, and then we'll talk about the faction traits, and then eventually I'll start the actual campaign. So, it's going to be kind of a blind LP. I haven't tested anything about these new factions. I'm going to look at their roster now in custom battle, and we can see the new maps for Charlemagne. Looks like we have only three presets. We have Al Andalus. This is kind of segueing. Al Andalus, Po Valley, and Saxony, which Saxony looks pretty decent. Anyways, the reason why I've chosen Avars is because they're the only faction in the campaign, in the Age of Charlemagne campaign, that have access to bow archers or that have access to bow cavalry or horse archers, and I love playing with them, and especially against against the AI. There's nothing better than to run around them in circles and destroy them from range, and the other factions seem kind of similar. Like, they have a decent number of infantry, decent number of skirmishers. Ooh, Kingdom of Asturias looks really cool. They've got a lot of noble skirmishers and stuff. But Avars is kind of different in that they don't have any melee infantry except for the Avar noble swordsman, whom I'm assuming is a very late game unit. They have some cheap foot archers and levy archers in the start of the game. They have some cheap levy spearmen and regular spearmen. But I think basically they are about cavalry. So yeah, that's the big thing about these guys. I want to take a quick look and see how much. So it's still 10,000 funds if you use large funds. They don't have any great. They just have a regular honor grid, nothing crazy in terms of artillery. So unfortunately, I won't have any cool insight to provide at the start of the game and as to how I'm going to proceed. They seem to be starting all the way on the eastern side of the map, and there's nothing much to be said. Like, you just have to be super aggressive is what I remember what Heir of Carthage said regarding these factions. Only an normal initial challenge, which is why I think I'll just go with very hard for now and get destroyed in a matter of seconds. Actually, no, you know what, I'm going to go hard. No, actually, maybe I'll go very hard. After a period of hardship, the Avars grow strong once again. Displaced by the invading Gokturks in AD 553, the Avars fled the collapsing Roran Khaganate and sought refuge like the barbarian tribes of the steppes before them in Roman lands. As the 8th century wanes, the Avar Khaganate is reduced in size, but once again on its feet, has a solid grasp on its Pannonian power base. Although the tenacious Byzantine Romans endure in the east, the Frankish king Charlemagne's power increases in the west, and he has vowed to convert all pagans to Christianity or put them to the sword. However, the Avars are well placed to repel any threat that comes their way, to defend their way of life and their gods to the death. The religion is Tengriism, so I guess Tengri, because of their Hunnic ancestors. Faction trait: horsemanship. To ride man and steed must be no easy task. Battle experience gain rate 100% for cavalry units, which is awesome. They don't suffer any post-battle casualties for cavalry units which have routed or withdrawn from battle, which is very interesting. Start year 768 AD. Let's do this.
There have been many kings before you. Many names, many titles. Men who rose from nothing. Men who risked all that they love to lead by honor and virtue and inspire the common man. Do you think you're different? Somehow chosen. Who gave you the right to rule? It wasn't the people. It wasn't God. Long ago, you took the Pannonian Basin for your home. Now that safety is threatened. To the south, the Croats have crept in, attempting to undo your hard-fought Khaganate, whilst to the north other Slavic tribes press upon you, covetous of the fertile lands under Avar control. These encroachments cannot be tolerated. To the west, the Franks are concerned with their own civil strife, but they will not be distracted forever, and will turn their swords against any who do not worship their one god. It is now clear your people cannot remain solely in the Pannonian Basin. The time is coming to expand the kingdom. Italy lies to the southwest across the Po Valley, and beyond the Alps, Germania and Francia. Fearsome challenges, but you can rise to them. You must. Avar survival depends upon it. Destiny awaits beyond your proud borders, Kargan. Reach out and grasp it.
Awesome. I love that cinematic. Okay, let's take a look. War weariness information. Sign of a great leader is in knowing how far your people can be pushed. Wars are significant, dramatic events that should not be undertaken lightly. Each turn you are at war, your faction's war weariness will increase. When it reaches a high enough level, your faction will begin to receive penalties that will increase as time wears on. Additionally, losing battles will have drastic effects on war weariness, depending on the severity of your defeat. However, you can seek respite during peacetime. While at peace, your war weariness will reduce quickly. Furthermore, signing peace treaties will cause a large one-off reduction. Should war be forced on you, however, you may slow, halt, or even reverse war weariness levels by winning decisive battles and, as a last resort, by withdrawing your men to within your own borders to help slow its increase. Wars must be concluded swiftly and decisively. Manage diplomacy carefully, but be aware that at times of conflict, the greatest enemy sometimes lies within. Ooh, spooky! Okay, mission issued. Reach Imperium level 3. So from what I've seen, like from the 5 minutes that I've seen of other YouTube streamers playing this LP, you can actually win this without declaring war, apparently. You just need to reach a certain level of Imperium, be that as it may from like cultural buildings or whatever, but I mean, we ain't about that life. We ain't about that life. We are going to go destroy whoever we can. The elite of Taugast is one of our armies that is led by Zabir. Let's see, we have an assassin in Oktar, and that's it. We only have one army. Let's see how many. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. 6 towns, and that forms one massive province in Moravia, however you want to put it. We are already at war with the Duchy of Croatia. Yeah, Duchy of Croatia, with the Duchy of Bavaria and Bohemia not liking us either. Dragovic commands Bohemia. We have Tassilo commanding Bavaria, and Croatia commanded by the lecherous Lech. How much do we have right now? 5,000 in our current treasury. We have 2,488 per turn income, 15 food. That seems all good. I remember Arab Carthage was talking about them not having a great start. But anyways, let's see. It's one massive province, which means we can recruit a lot of troops wherever we are within this province, which is awesome. We can already recruit tribesmen who are medium spear infantry that are good against cavalry, and of course have 17 ammunition. We have levy spearmen who are basically useless. Well, they're not useless, but they have operative phalanx. They have the spear phalanx or whatever it's called in this game. We have levy archers who have lower ammunition than the tribesmen. And of course, we have our Avar horse archers who have 44 missile damage. I want to take a look at the missile damage of these guys. Let's try and see exactly how deadly they are. Whoa, 12 armor piercing. We got that 12 armor piercing damage. These guys are fucking dope. 25 ammunition. They have Parthian shot, firewalls moving. Resistant to fatigue. They're very light. They're basically going to be unstoppable unless I make big micro mistakes. Let's try and think of what are... Whoa, we have the Alps that are like covering this area. So I think the logical step would be to kill off the Duchy of Croatia as soon as possible. Let's try and send our assassin. I want to see where is the third province of these guys, or the third little We have Patunch. Patunch! And we have the noble cavalry of these guys. They've got a pretty nice force right here. Looks like. Should I... can I stop their advance with the assassin? Let's try and take a look. Because hinder army, harass army, which causes 330, 50 chance. Not too bad. I'll take those odds. I'm a gambler at heart. You know, we all about that risk. Oh, we're not about risk covers. Harass army. Yes, nice. Okay, so they're not going to be able to move next turn. Let's move our guys to Kaposwar. First things first, we need to move our guys closer. And you know we about that Avar horse archer life. Maybe remove a what happened to the oh, so okay, we have a levy archer right here that has the same missile damage as the Avar horse archers, which is okay. Maybe I'll remove them and bring more Avar horse archers instead. How much do the Avar horse archers cost? 400 only. They only cost twice of these guys, and they're fucking dope, dude. We have Avar Lancers as well, but the Avar Horse Archers have 130 upkeep. These guys have only 49 upkeep. Okay. I see how it is now. I see how it is. Let's see what buildings we have. We have the Long Hall. So Long Hall, Manor. Long Hall, I guess, is the province capital. Unlocks recruitment of Avar Horse Archers, Levy Spearmen, Levy Archers. This one doesn't do much except increases your Imperium. This one, as long as we we upgrade our buildings, we improve our Imperium points. Upgrading the Warriors Hall, the Mead Hall to the Warriors Hall gives us access to Avar Noble Archers, but this is why I'm not going to do that. Let's try and take a look. Let's see if the encyclopedia, if based encyclopedia is actually dope right now. Okay, it's okay. It seems to have this. Let's see Avar Noble Archers. Click on these guys, and I'll try and show you. They don't have Parthian Shot. Oh no, they do have Parthian Shot. Okay. So there is, I think, one more horse archer that's even better than them that doesn't have Parthian Shot, which is what I spied with my little eye in the custom battle screen. So okay, upgrading this is not all that bad, gives us a nice boost to public order. It seems like we're suffering from a public order penalty. -8 everywhere and -4 near the capital. Okay, so we should make another army in any case. I would want to put one either in Savaria or Nitra. Oh, actually, no, wait, Nitra, Savaria, and Mosaburg. And then we have another one which is in Kaposwar, Sibakaza, and Sheged. We have a horse show here, farm, and iron veins. This seems like a pretty powerful province right here. We have a gold veins here, food market. We don't have a cavalry thing. We have a lightning shrine, which increases Tengriism. It's going to be important. And upgrading that to a celestial temple will also be pretty important. But otherwise, you know, that's one thing good. I don't need to build a barracks. I don't need to build anything like that. +1 experience upgrade for melee unit recruits with Irik. We have Patron. We have a patron in Gesm. Gesm. I don't know. +10% wealth from agricultural buildings. This one +10% wealth from cultural buildings. This one +1% replenishment for commanded force, which is Let's get this guy. How old is he? He's got 43 influence. Okay, power Imperium, 1% loyalty. Okay, this guy seems like he seems like the man. He seems like that guy. Let's go ahead and get this guy. So he has the Avar Guard, which is good. And we should recruit some Avar Horse Archers with this guy. 3 Avar Horse Archers. Oh no, what we should do is first put him inside the, is he in the town? No, he's not in the town. Let's put him in the town. And we'll get 2 Avar Horse Archers and 1 Levy Spearman. I don't want to get too many Horse Archers right off the bat and then like lose mad money from upkeep costs. I would suspect there's a 3rd province right here. Wow, obviously. And for now, let's get another Levy Archer. We'll still be pretty cavalry heavy, but we'll have a pretty balanced army this way. Let's take a look at our military stuff. Logistics gives us +3% replenishment right off the bat. This +2 public order from bureaucratic reforms. Let's start off with this. Does upgrading it replaces It replaces shit. Why does it replace shit? We don't want. See, the Avar horse masters replace the Avar noble archers, and the Avar horse masters are the ones that don't have Parthian shot. So this is one of those retarded things in Attila which I really don't like. No point in getting the. I'd want to get something that helps my money, but doesn't seem like we really have anything besides the iron veins and stuff. Okay, Celestial Temple +2. Spend Imperium points from the Celestial Temple. I don't think I need to spend that much money right off the bat. Let's go ahead and enter. Okay. You may still assign a provincial governor. I think you have to assign 2. Gaisman was the one who had he had +10 to cultural buildings, right? Moravia is the one. Let's take a look. What does he have? +10% wealth from cultural buildings. Let's see. Savariya. There's a Indian. There are plenty of Indian songs with the name Savariya. Savariya. Okay, so this is we don't have any cultural money. We get a lot of money from agriculture, which is dope. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. How do I assign a provincial governor manually? We have to go to this faction screen. Gazim is basically useless right now. Let's put him in Pannonia. Where is the other guy? Landowner, he has +10% wealth from cultural building. So let's let's remove Gazim. No, but anyways, Moravia also has a farm in it, so it's basically the same thing. Okay, let's go ahead and enter. Of course, once you assign a provincial governor, you can issue an edict. Research rate +2% for military developments, +1 for all recruits in terms of experience. Here, -10% cost, construction cost +10 growth. Okay, so right now, we need 63 growth for population surplus. Growth next to 11, this would bring it up to 21. That's actually pretty dope. But, and I'm recruiting in both provinces. But whatever, let's do this. Let's try and focus on a growth-oriented strategy at the start of the game, so that I can get some money buildings pretty soon. Anyways, guys, stay tuned for next round. Right, so I thought I hindered their army successfully. They still managed to attack. They have some levy spearmen, some levy archers. What do I have? Levy archers. Oh, they have the same. Same. Swordsmen, skirmisher cavalry, and noble cavalry. Let's fight this on the battlefield. See you guys. Where are the reinforcements? Where is everyone? When will we be saved? How are we supposed to win out against these Croatians? This massive army. Every one of the steppe spearmen thought this as they waited for their eventual death. Their town was about to be taken over by a massive Croatian army, and they had none but garrisons, small levy garrison troops who were willing to lay down their lives to protect their town. Their promised reinforcements were late. The general was busy apparently recruiting more troops to fight for the cause, but that meant that the garrison armies would be isolated and wouldn't have anyone to help them. The Croatians came down upon them. It was a massacre. They didn't bother with complex strategic formations. All they did was rush. They had troop superiority, they had cavalry superiority. Everything from the numbers to the quality to the training of the men ensured that the garrisoned spearmen and the garrisoned archers would do nothing but destroy a few key units before they finally capitulated. The Duchy of Croatia amassed a massive force that now destroyed the small barricade that the archers used, and it was only a matter of time before the cavalry swarmed through the spearmen, the steppe spearmen, the levy spearmen, and bulldozed their way through the small garrison force that the Avars had. But they would not rest until they killed every last one before they died. The noble cavalry, one of the strongest cavalry troops for the Croatians was dying by the dozens as they tried to push their way through levy spearmen. Whether it was in the hands of a peasant or in the hands of a trained warrior, a spear was still as deadly to cavalry as any other spear, and that ensured that the noble cavalry would lose a lot of men, a lot of experienced knights before they finally pushed their way through the steppe spearmen phalanx. The general, the Croatian general, sneakily made his way unopposed through the other side. This wouldn't have been possible if the Avars had more troops, but unfortunately, with only a measly garrison force, they couldn't do anything to stop the Croatians from the Croatian general from moving unopposed onto the other side of the town. Bravely, the levy spearman garrison general made another phalanx waiting for his eventual death, whether it come from the hands of bows on the other side of the town, or the noble cavalry that smashed their way through the formation again, or whether it came from the general who was behind them ready to pounce. Death would be inevitable, and the victory for the Croatians would be inevitable. The levy archers fired the last of their arrows, flaming shot, onto the javelin cavalry. The lightly armed javelin cavalry, of course, couldn't take too much more of a pummeling. They already lost a fair few men while trying to take over the walls. But the levy archers' time was short as well, because the Croatians swarmed the walls and took over the town. Right, so obviously we died. Decisive defeat, but some good things to keep in mind. Noble cavalry down, skirmisher cavalry down. General got slightly injured, so at least focused on trying to kill off the most important units. I guess they just sacked it, which kind of sucks. Settlement sacked the fuckers. Mission issued, reach Imperium level 5. Reward, a Khaganate rises. +1 loyalty, +8 public order, +5 morale. Become the Avar Khaganate. How do I do that? Oh, okay. Okay, I'm good at. There's no chance of this happening again. I mean, of it fucking up. Let's go and try and attack the Will of God. I don't like this guy. I don't like him. I don't like him at all. 50%. Okay, not bad. If I can injure the general, that would be good. Whoa, he killed him. Wow, nice. We killed the general. Was that the king? I don't know. But Kapaswar is now pretty upset, of course, since the settlement got sacked. But let's start pushing forward. I want to get these guys, and I want to get these guys good. Now that we're here, might as well recruit a couple of these tribesmen. The tribesmen seem cool, but the thing is, the enemy swordsmen, these guys, they have a lot of missiles, I believe. And one of them had a lot of missiles. One of the sword infantry had some missiles, which is interesting and scary to see. I want to get another Avar Lancer, another Avar Horse Archer, and one of the tribesmen. We're not making too much money, and we are still losing. Well, now at least the public order, it was -8, now it's -7. But I really don't want the public order to go down much more. But on the other hand, we are very close to growth next turn 34, which is awesome. So in the next couple of turns, definitely we'll be able to get another building somewhere. Repair cost 1134. Fuck me. Okay. Farm, repair. So that, because those are pretty essential buildings. The fuckers, man. That's a lot of money that they just made me waste. But yeah, let them go ahead and attack. There's nothing much else to do in this turn except... Oh, no, actually, no. We can upgrade Oktar. Harass army, plus 5% casualties inflicted, if I upgrade that. Here, +2 authority. What does authority do? Nothing. Oh, -6 chance, enhances critical success chance. Cunning reduces agent cost. And campaign movement range is increased with zeal. Whoa, call to arms, that's awesome. If I improve call to arms, I get +1 recruitment capacity. That's really, really cool. Here, this improves zeal, and then I can enables guerrilla activity, deploy foreign province. This one Ooh, -2 public order. Whoa, assassin looks awesome. Military training is honestly what I'd want to get because that'll probably increase unit XP very soon. Plus 20% chance of killing target though if I assassinate. I think what I'm going to try and do is get either military training or negative public order. What does this do? Guerrilla activity here, cunning. This one +1 authority, and then we can eventually get military training. But no. Let's refresh. If I want to do that, then I do Call of Arms and then Determined and then eventually get military training because that will increase recruitment capacity and then I can also get more experienced units as well. Double whammy. With all that said, let's go ahead and enter. Okay, so the cowardly Croatians have moved to Ptuj. I wish I could pronounce that right. Honestly, I would prefer I don't pronounce it right so that it'll be Kex, it'll be Lel. I'm going to move past this river. Let's see if there's any difference to... does it still call 50% to fortify and 50% to ambush, 50% to raid? Okay. Might as well raid. I'll make them... let's move... I wish I could move closer to the forest. Actually, no, I don't want to move to the forest. I want to move to open land so that I can use my horse archers to the greatest degree. Move into Ptuj. And don't know if I should fortify or if I should... No, fortification is bullshit because I have a bunch of cavalry. So I'll raid. And what shall I do with the assassin? Can I see how much... They still have positive public order. They are now led by Vladislav, who's a 1-star general. Let's go ahead and explore with the assassin. I can't really move into my own units or into my own army. A CSAC that has this cool little thing right here. Cloth. Oh, okay, cool. I could get cloth once I capture CSAC. Oh, -32 and -20. That ain't good. We should get another raise. We should raise another force. Keep them in Kaposvar. Yep, keep though. Bring him in. Get step spearmen and step archers. Well, step archers more than step spearmen. And here in Savaria, we need one more turn until we get another. We need a lot more. Well, 3 population surplus in the next turn, and then I think 4 population surplus in 2 turns after that. Okay. Let's get 1 step archer, 1 levy archer here. No 2 levy archers. Okay, and let's enter. War weariness has increased. Your people will grow angry and demand an end to these incessant wars. Worse still, your troops begin to show fatigue from your long military campaigns. If your men can no longer fight, then the fighting will soon come to an end, but likely not in the way you intended. You should begin the peace process. What? Bro.
Ready for orders.
Bro. But what does that actually mean then? Has integrity gone? No. Is there an increase to public order penalties? War weariness -1, banditry -1. Whoa, Kaposvar is like... They ain't doing too well. Okay. I need to put an end to these guys quickly. Let's hire some mercenaries for now. Mercenary archers. They have only 38 missile damage. Mercenary spearmen. Mercenary skirmishers. Mercenary Avar lancers. Mercenary Avar horse archers. And mercenary skirmisher cavalry. Okay. Let me first get closer to these guys.
Getting on our way. Your next command?
Ptuj, okay. I really wouldn't want to take the fight to the town. I'm instead going to get a mercenary Avar lancer and a mercenary Avar blah blah blah. Hire them and then lay siege. Hopefully they'll commit. Should I encircle them or should I fight the battle on the battlefield? Will they sally forth? Barricades available 1. This it can hold out for 9 turns. I'm going to encircle them for now. If they don't attack in the next turn, I'll just come in with this dude and help out. Actually, yeah, I'll just move in here. Wow, this is. I'm probably going to lose a lot of men due to attrition in the next turn. And I still need to make some. Should I destroy a building? This gives only +3 public order and +1 experience for cavalry unit recruits. If I dismantle it, then I can build a lightning shrine. It gives again +3 public order and +1 public order in all adjacent provinces. That's awesome. But let's see if what is the Tengrism is 92.7. So I don't really need to worry about religious osmosis. So I'm going to chill out for now, and hopefully things will change pretty soon. Let's see. Attrition. 55 men lost in the Elite of Tagas and 12 men lost in the Fury of Carpathians. Okay. Let's move in here, support this guy, and attack. I'm going to fight the battle on the battlefield. There's no point in encircling because I'm not losing. I'll be in a stalemate if I just continue doing this. I'll lose men, so then fuck that. I'll fight this and then I'll give you guys a post-battle commentary. By Tengri, what have I gotten myself into? Zubar thought as he pulled away with the rest of his horse archer brothers. He was scared, and rightly so, for the Croatian force that met them was massive in number. Zubar was but a fresh recruit and one who was exceptionally skilled with the bow and riding on a horse. But at a mere age of 17, seeing the deathly sights that he saw must have been frightening for anyone. He saw his brethren, the steppe spearmen and the freshly trained tribesmen, move up and form a spear wall to take on the heavily armored Croatians. He saw his friends, the foot archers, fire behind them and get as many kills as possible before the Croatian spear line crept up. Zabir was the general who commanded them. He and the rest of the Lancer horde formed the third line in this massive Avar army. Arrow on arrow poured in as the spearmen moved up in front with their shields raised. Zubar couldn't help but feel frightened, but there was also a sense of a certain pride that he took, watching his Avar brothers kill off the Croatians who had previously sacked their beautiful town. The Avar lancers made their way, crushed quite a few of the spearmen, but they had braced into a tight formation which made sure that the Avar lancers would take as much damage when they pulled away. Zabir, the general, was a smart man. Pull back, men. He ordered his men to pull back from the incoming Croatian horde. He knew what his advantages were. He knew what the Avars' strengths were, and he knew what the Croatians' strengths were. The Croatians were heavily armored, but the Croatians had no cavalry. The few cavalry that they had would get pummeled by the superior Avar horse archers, and they had no skirmish cavalry of their own to match the Avars. He used this maneuverability to pull some of his horse archers into the rear and fire flaming shot, fire arrows onto the royal cavalry general. But this was not all. This was not enough to win the game, or to win the battle in this case, for Sabir. He needed his brother. He needed his ally. His ally, with the fury of the Carpathians, was moving across the river and ready to ambush the Croatians from the east. Horse archers made their way through the bridge unopposed, using the same tactic that the Croatian general used on the poor garrison infantry earlier on, and they were about to enter the town center with nary a men to oppose them. Meanwhile, the Croatians were focusing their efforts to try and kill off Zabir and his army, but his horse archers were proving to be too much for most of them to handle. A few charges here and there from the Avar lancers made short work of a few steppe spearmen, but the lightly armored Avar Lancers were proving to be more of a disappointment than anything else. Zabir had high hopes for them, and they were only disappointed. I'm serving Tengri well, thought Subar, as he moved around. The fear in his heart had been quelled. The pride in his heart was swelling. He was killing men, and while some of his brothers were dying desperately by the enemy archers, most of them were proving to be too quick, and only a few of them got caught by the enemy javelineers. Zubar suffered a few grazes, and his horse was grazed as well from a few arrows, but the superior horses of the steppes would prove too much for the Croatian foot archers. Some of his brethren were fighting the archers in hand-to-hand combat. They used the strength of their horses to push in and fight them. Even though they wielded nothing but daggers, they would still be able to crush the poorly trained archers, foot archers, underfoot. Like so, the Croatian army was scattered. It was not cohesive. At the start of the battle, they formed one tight group, and now they were surrounded all throughout by the Avars. In a formation and in tactics that would have made his ancestors proud, they swarmed the heavily armored but incredibly slow Croatian foot infantry and foot archers. Gaps were soon to be found, and those gaps would be exploited by the Avar Lancers. And meanwhile, the fury of the Carpathians formed their way and were resting, in fact, in the town center. They had captured the town center and were waiting for Sabir to issue the order for them to move in and destroy the remaining Croatians from behind. Avar Lancers charged into unopposed archers and destroyed them underfoot. The Avar horse archers were still firing. They had plenty of bows. They actually kept arrows outside the city in strategic points, so when they surrounded the Croatians, they would gather a few arrows, fire them, gather some more arrows before moving around. This way they ensured that they would always encircle the enemy Croatians, they would always have ammunition with them, and they would always find the best spots to fire their arrows into the Croatians before moving on. The battle, while it started not in Sabir's favor, not at all in Sabir's favor, it was definitely turning around. A lot of the steppe spearmen and the levy spearmen were turning tail and running away. The levy archers were commanded by Sabir to keep moving away from the levy spearmen, and they ran them around in circles. Sabir himself and his Avar guard didn't do anything, didn't need to do anything. A few of them died from the attrition earlier on in seasons before. But now the guard cavalry, the enemy general of the Croatians, was taking fire from all directions, and he was soon to suffer a coward's death. He would try and charge in and actually get a few kills on the retreating Avar horse archers, but the guard cavalry, even despite their heavy armor, would suffer so many casualties from flaming arrows that they would capitulate soon after the Avar Lancers broke them. Flaming arrows poured through the sky, and a final charge from the Avar Lancers and from a personal visit from Sabir and his Royal Avar Guard would ensure that this would be an excellent victory for the Avars. Bodies littered the ground, and the stench of rotting corpses and blood filled the ground. But victory was the Avars, and the stench of death was but perfume for Sabir, for he had won back his city. Okay, destroyed, and we got Patuj. You got the weirdest sounding city known to man. We lost one mercenary Avar Lancer, which is good, I guess, because we don't really care about him. Quick thoughts: Avar Lancers, not the greatest unit. Avar Horse Archers, dope. The Tribesmen, crap. Levy Spearmen, eh. And the Levy Archers are probably the best. So, in probably what I would think my future armies are going to be much more weighted towards Avar Horse Archers and maybe like Levy Archers. Just have um, a complete nomadic army with a few cheap foot archers. Close victory. We could sack. There's no, there's occupy, loot, and occupy, and sack. If we occupy, it will replenish 10% of our unit, of our army, minus 20% province instability, and we'll get 645 talents from loot and occupy. Let's just regular occupy. It's probably the best. Oh, we could have sacked and occupied. But no, that would destroy the buildings. There's no point. Okay. Vladislav deceased. War weariness is decreased. And we are chilling. Okay, I have half a mind to end this episode of the LP right here. Yeah, that half mind has turned into full mind. I am going to end this episode of the LP right here. Let me just first of all try and find out the last city of Croatia. Can't find it. Let's upgrade the general before we do anything. And authority +1, +2 for missile unit recruits, and let's get +1 to. Let's do this. +1 to commander, and then eventually I'm going to. Ooh, actually, no. Yeah, let's do that. And then +1 experience for all recruits, and then pair him in with the assassin, and that is going to give us some really heavily experienced recruits, if that makes any sense. And yeah, that's why I'm going to end this LP. First episode, we're doing okay so far. Before that, let's take a look at Patuj. We have a manor and we have farms or fields, so that's good. We might want to just remove the fields and then dismantle the fields and repair the manor and then get another Tengri. We'll start getting some Tengriism up in there. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it so far. Leave a like if you like this first episode of the LP, and let me know if you want me to continue with this LP. Anyways, guys, stay tuned for more. Peace.